you're going to actually be building 4 of these. So first part for both, the easiest I find the easiest way to do is put the shafts together. I like to get rid of all the small parts first. So take the shafts and get the E-clips mounted up on them. Each shaft gets an E-clip, then the piston itself, and then another E-clip. So we're going to give each shaft an E-clip at this point. Once we have each shaft with an E-clip sitting on it, we're going to then locate our shock pistons, which are actually, should be in another bag here. We're going to have to find it. They don't have them in bag B with the rest of the parts. I already double checked that. There should be a parts tree, and I'm guessing the number is 8029, so we got to find the tree, the parts tree in the plastic parts that has that. Okay, we got the first clips there, so let's go find our parts tree that has our pistons on it. It's not there. There. Transmission tree. Up there. Up there. That's not it. Okay, we're not having any luck finding our pistons. A bag with those. Shock tubes, okay. Well, we've got our shock tubes. I wonder if that isn't it right there. 8029, number 5. Okay, we've actually got a little part number confusion here. They're showing the shock ring. It's the preload collar that actually threads onto the shock tube. They're showing that as the preload collar there, but they're also showing here 8029, part number 5. This is parts tree 8029. Part number 5 is again that preload collar. That is not correct. I'm going to have to do some part searching here and see if I cannot locate the pistons, and we will be right back. Okay, so here's what happened. We do actually have a misprint in the book, and I'm going to note this, and we're going to point this out here in the video. As I said, I was unable to locate the pistons for the shocks. The parts tree number If you look here in the manual, it's actually in step 11. It says AX 8029 part number 5. That brings you to this parts tree. That is the wrong number and wrong part number. It's the wrong tree number and the wrong part number. AX 8029 part number 5 is the preload collar that screws onto the outer shock shaft or shock housing. We do need those pieces, but the part that's labeled wrong is down here. It's the piston that goes onto the shock shaft. The actual number should be AX 8032 part number 5, and that is right here. You'll see that it's on this parts tree. That's the 8032 parts tree. It is part number 5. That is correct. It's just on the wrong parts tree number. You're actually going to need all 4 of those, so pop those off of there. And actually, we're going to have to cut them off. That plastic's a little rubbery. So we're going to have to take 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we've got those off. And we're going to take and clean up the plastic slag on the... These go inside the shock, so you're going to want that little plastic slag piece removed from each one. Once you got all of them cleaned up where you think they're going to work good, and then you can, this last one cut down here. There. Okay, once you got those cleaned up, take your shock shafts, put the piston onto each shaft, dig out the E-clips again. You got 4 E-clips left. Place those on. There's one. Another piston. Another E-clip. Another shaft, another piston, another E-clip. This is probably one of the most painstaking parts of the whole build. Me personally, I hate building shocks. It's just a step I don't ever like to have to deal with. It's the messiest step too, as you'll find out here once we get going, but I just always, it's the one thing I don't like doing, is building shocks. It's time consuming. Okay, so you got 4 shafts with pistons on. Now you're going to need to locate the bodies. They are right basically here. These are the shock bodies. Actually, what they did was shove them together. They are parts tree number 8030, or 830, excuse me. Clean off all 4 of them from the parts trees. At the same time, locate your 8029 part trees. You're going to have 4 of those. You're going to want those 4 number 5 preload rings off of each one. Take your preload rings and actually screw them down on to the shock's outer housing. go a couple of threads, probably, I'd say probably screw them down about a little past 1/4 inch, maybe a 1/2 inch or so. Get them out of their ways.